Hey, well, welcome back to the ARC Path.
Hi, my name is Bernard Bashura,
And I'm Casey.
and today it was important for me to say my full name.
I noticed that. I wasn't
Yeah.
sure if I was going to follow or not. But I almost didn't. I didn't on purpose because you did.
Yes. Well,
And I,
can you indulge me in saying your full name?
Casey Cox.
Hmm.
Hi,
Beautiful.
I'm Casey Cox.
Yes, I'm Bernard Bashura.
And we are here on the ARC Path today.
I love that. I love that. I want to pause that and celebrate that.
And I want to invite somebody, say your full name right now, even though you don't have to, just like I didn't have to, but you pulled me into it.
Yes.
Um,
There's power in
I hope
it.
they just said it in that little pause.
I hope
That was
so.
what it was
I hope
for.
so. My mind was like, I wanted to jump in and celebrate it right away, but there is victory in our name.
Mm.
There is celebration in our name, and there's value. I think that's I was searching and I found it. There's value in our name.
Little things always pop up in my head as we're doing this, and that's why we don't script it. It's so wonderful. But if you don't like where you've come from, it'll be hard to love where you're going.
Oh, that's painful.
It is really painful, and
Yeah.
I'm tacking it on to your name. Your name is tied to your destiny. And
Yes.
I'm not saying if you've ever changed your name or you don't like your name that you can't fulfill your destiny, but I am saying it's a part of the process. And if you reject where you came from, if you hate what got you to this point, the chances of you starting to love what's next
Very slim.
are very, very slim.
Yeah.
And that's really where we're going today on the mindset concept. But I want to go back to the name. Why did you start with your full name?
I was looking because we were talking about mindset and uh, th- for me mindset is really entrenched in my identity
Mm-hmm.
and in my name. I grew up with a family, again, Middle Eastern background where, your name is everything. Your name is your reputation. Your reputation is your identity. It's your character, and so there's a lot of heritage lineage in a name, and so just there's for me, it was so important to begin as we talk about mindset today to recognize to express my identity.
You have a mindset about identity tied to your name that is linked to your culture and the generations that have gone before you.
Yes.
And at the same time, it's not about the past, it's actually about the future
Correct.
because that name compels you to live into a certain lifestyle
Yes.
because of the mindset of what it means to be a Bashura.
Yes.
Just, I could keep going, but
No,
that's
no. I mean,
sufficient.
it is, and really, it's about being in community with other people. It's for you to join us, to join me, to join our community.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna learn very quickly. I mean, as Casey said it, we've never articulated it out loud like this before. I mean, it's just, but it's just there's an understanding.
Yeah.
You start to understand the what it is to be around me as I carry my name into conversations, into community.
Absolutely. And so if you listen to these podcasts, you often know there's this phrase that Bernard likes to throw out, and I'm going to steal it today. I'm going to take us to the end.
Okay.
We do begin with the end in mind. On the ARC path, it's AHRK. K is kingdom. Kingdom is always celebration. Bernard loves to celebrate. So for Bernard to go to the end, it's like, can't we start celebrating now? I'm just inviting you, if it's your first podcast with us, to recognize we are always going to go to the end multiple times because every time we go to the end, we go right back to the beginning and then we pursue the end again.
Correct.
So the end today, and I'm going to give it back to Bernard, is this place of celebration that, Bernard, you have been designed to be better than you can even imagine.
Yes,
I mean, just because you have quite an imagination.
I do.
You're quite a visionary.
Yes.
And yet there is more to that design in you than you can even possibly grasp or conceive at this moment.
And I can't even imagine that.
I love that. I mean, that's the one
Go,
up.
go go back. Yeah, I mean, go back and watch that again. That because that is so powerful and it's so real.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever imagination that you have, it's limited in comparison to your full potential.
And as you live into that, and let me give the answer first. Why? If that why? Because every step of life opens up 10 more possibilities.
Yes.
So today I'm at step 14,047,000. I made that up. But if I'm at step 14,047,000, I see it certainly. But when I take 14,048,000, there's a whole new realm of possibilities because I've taken another step in this journey.
Yeah.
And so what we wanted to invite you today is into a mindset of unlimited possibility, but that unlimited possibility requires you to take a next step. And as you take a next step, our focus is not about you taking the next 40 steps. It's only one step at a time. And the mindset we invite you to recognize, and we're, like I said, we're giving you the end, and then we're going to walk you through the process is, you know what? It's really okay to just take one step at a time, one breath at a time, one little inch forward is all it requires for everything in life to change.
But it's not okay not to keep taking steps.
Exactly.
So
Did I say that?
no, no,
Okay,
no, no, no.
good.
But I just want, again, it's just when you said it's okay to take one step at a time, and then buyer beware. This is the warning. Don't stop taking steps. As if you have a Fitbit watch or one of
Mm-hmm.
those trackers, take more steps. And so as you were talking about mindset, and the question came in is, where have you camped out in your mindset and stopped taking steps? I added that last part.
Yes.
Where have you journeyed in your mindset and go, a 14,048,000, I think I'm going to hang out here. I'm not going to go to 49. Why? This is so amazing. And then 48 will linger. It'll linger, and then life just changes. So,
Yeah.
it becomes a little bit more dull, more predictable,
Mm-hmm.
and you go, but you're supposed to get to 25 million. Why are you still here at 14 million 48? And it's just because we camped out, and mindset is about, we camp out in our mind in those areas. We go, this is the best that I've ever been.
Yep.
I think I'm going to stay like this way in this time, in this space.
What a sad disappointment. It's almost like if somebody was listening to our podcast and they stopped listening at minute 9.
Yeah.
Because as I hope you can feel, we take a step and then we look, and then we take another step and then we look. And this is in every podcast we do. By the time we get to about minute 15, 16, we're like, aha, there's the gold. And then we spend the last 5 to 10 minutes talking to you about the gold. So if you're here and you have gone and you've dropped out at different points going, I don't think they're going anywhere today. There's a beautiful meme of digging for diamonds, and you look over and you see the one guy found a diamond, and then you go, oh, I guess I'm digging in the wrong spot. And then as you pan back from the image, 3 more dig swings, there was a diamond 1,000 times the size of the one that the guy next to you got. There is so much more ahead of you. Take another swing. Just one swing. Take just one more swing.
Well, again, Casey just reminded me of gold. So I'm going to put my gold ring back on. And it's, again, this is a celebration ring. But a lot of jewelry, because again, as a jewelry designer, jewelry is a trophy. So a lot of people, they build a piece of jewelry to commemorate a moment in their life, which is you're supposed to. No, not supposed to. I mean, it's just
it's an invitation.
Well, you're supposed to commemorate those moments, and if you choose to do that with a piece of jewelry, I think that's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
That trophy is beautiful as a reminder of that moment at celebration. But a lot of us, we take that nugget, that gold, and we anchor ourselves there.
Yeah.
We remember, oh man, when I was in high school, when I was in
Nostalgia.
college, that first my first job, I did this. And then Casey, how many companies, how many businesses, how many ventures have you have you tried? And it's just, there's this concept of how do we build and keep building together all the time, and how do we not stop getting, hey, I got my trophy, I'm just gonna hang on to that trophy in this time.
So let's talk about, Bernard's brought us back to where people get stuck.
Yes.
And I just want to give you kind of a mindset, the opposite mindset, rather than the mindset we're talking about that there's always more and to reach and discover. The opposite is, you know what? I'm just paraphrasing. I want to do more. I want to reach for more. There is better out there, but right now's not the right time.
Yes.
When I have more money, when I have more time, when I have more energy, then I will do more and reach for more in this world.
Yes.
That mindset is what has you stuck.
Yes.
Because it lives into a someday mentality. Someday I will have the opportunity to, we've joked about retire. Someday I will win the lottery. Someday I will inherit enough money. Someday I will have breakthrough. Someday the people who don't like me will die and then I can say what I want, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Someday never comes,
No.
and you'll never have more than enough to do the very thing that is for you to do. Just do it now. Do one step of it now. Move in that direction now. So what if you don't have enough money to go on vacation? Plan it. It's absolutely free to plan a vacation.
Yeah.
The internet is beautiful with that. You can go on and say, I want to go here. And if you don't know what to do when you get there, say, what are the 10 best things to do when I get there? And then I want you to plan the trip. I actually want you to plan it and put it in the calendar as if you're going. And somebody goes, well, that's just disappointing. No, that's actually to experience whether or not it'd be worthwhile for you to make some different choices.
I love that. I love that. I first nugget. First nugget. And I have to give it before before I lose it, but I wrote it down. Casey always talks about how we're time travelers, and it's the component in us that is a time traveler is our mind.
Hmm.
And this concept of visualizing the vacation, it's time travel. It's your mind wandering to a place, a destination, an experience, an encounter that's outside of this moment.
And I'm going to interrupt because it's an interrupt because I want to keep it going. But you got to put it into action. It's not just daydreaming. It's not just fantasizing. It's, I'm going to do an internet search for the hotel that I'm going to stay in, and I want to know how much it's going to cost me per night,
Yes.
and let it freak you out.
Yeah.
There's no way I can afford that. Okay, fine. Now you know where you're at today.
Yes.
Is there a cheaper place?
Yeah.
But I want to do this. Oh my gosh, if that's what's going to happen. If you don't put something into action, you're not taking a step.
Yes.
And that's just so key as the action, because mindset is equal to action. Most people think that mindset is thinking.
I love that, and my biggest concern is I think that's part two. Part one is can we just declare that our minds can create a better life for us?
Mm.
A better can our mind create a better life for us to choose? Because it's if our mindset, and again, a lot of people are resigned to a mindset that has already surrendered, going, this is it, and this is what I'm supposed to do every day, and therefore I'm not even going to use my imagination.
Hmm.
Period. And so we
Because
have.
they've been wounded by their imagination, because they just put it in fantasy realm, and they didn't take one small step, and then they recognized, well, that's just a big life of disappointment because nothing happened.
Yes.
Well, guess why nothing happened? Because you didn't.
It's two parts.
Yeah.
It is two part. So we're going to first declare I have an imagination. It is healthy. It is strong, and I'm going to use my imagination to help myself make healthier choices and better choices for my life. And I think that's being on that acknowledgement, going because you have to push off the reality that a lot of people say, I don't have an imagination. I'm like, okay, so like you're one of those defective human beings that came off the production line. No, you have an imagination. It's a muscle. You've either it's just atrophied, or you're going to use it. And then, again, the second part of it is not, you're just not going to use it. You're going to, again, I think I'm going to bring the word faith into this. Imagination is great. Faith takes that imagination, puts it into action. And so
in our mindset, it does.
well, and that's
the invitation.
That's the invitation. Is faith is the lifeline of every human being. And I'm gonna just drink a sip of faith. Can you just can we?
I can cheers you on
I'm gonna
that.
choose, guys. Take a sip of faith right now. You have to have faith. It's not just religion. It's faith is a critical element to every human being. You have faith. What does your faith look like?
So we touched gold.
Okay.
Now let's unpack it.
Okay.
Okay. So Bernard mentioned faith. So I'm gonna put this together in three examples, and Bernard's gonna address them all.
Great.
Um, Physical exercise.
Mm.
I'm going to work out, and I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to read the Bible, and I'm gonna read the whole thing, and I'm going to learn to meditate. Okay,
Mm.
all things that Bernard has been in pursuit of at different points in his life, at different levels. So Bernard, you're going to work out. I think you need probably 2 hours a day minimum,
Yes.
maybe 2.5.
Yes.
I really think you need to. You can't get through this life without having read the entire Bible, and so in order, you're going to need to read the Bible. I'm going to give you 60 minutes.
Wow.
But in order for you to get through it, you need to read the Bible. And meditation. I mean, you got so many things going on in your head. If you don't meditate I'm going to minimize it, but for 30 minutes of silence.
Wow.
But Bernard, if you would work out for 2.5 hours, if you would read the Bible for an hour and sit in silence for 30 minutes, would your life be better?
Yes.
It would be.
It would be.
What are the chances and likelihood of that happening at any day in your life?
All of it together,
Yes.
complicated.
Complicated. That's a simple way of saying not going to happen. Now, here's the point of this mindset meditation on the ARC path today. Take one step.
Yes.
What is your one step? No one starts working out for 2.5 hours a day and still is working out for 2.5 hours a day 3 years later if they never worked out before.
Correct.
There's a progression. Yeah, sure, it's great to read the entire Bible, but if you're going to do it for an hour, if you're not in love with the Word of God and you're now going to spend an hour in the Word of God, you're going to sleep for 45 minutes.
Yes.
It's just not. That's not how this works.
Correct.
Sitting 30 minutes in silence is going to drive you crazy rather than invite you to enlightenment.
Yes.
So let's start with 30 minutes of workout. Let's start with 10 minutes of the one passage a day, one Bible verse a day. And let's start with 30 seconds of breathing.
Mm.
Now, what's the likelihood, if that's a commitment you make, all wrapping up in less than literally an hour, to choose better in your day? Now, it's that we're talking mindset here. Isn't enough. Some people would go, no, if I'm not going to do the whole thing,
all or none.
All or none. Your mindset is all or none, which probably leads you to believe when I have more time, when I have more energy, when I have more resource, then I'm going to do more.
But you don't know me. You don't know my story. I'm one of those defective human beings. I was designed so contrary to every facet of psychology, physiology, sociology model. I was designed outside of that realm. I'm part of that Neanderthal race of people, and so a lot of this doesn't apply to me.
The ones that no longer evolved.
It's like you look at this and you go, okay, all right. Like, well, I'm glad you believe that, and it's just, guys, that's not true.
No.
What he's saying applies to all, ALL, all. This is like proven facts. Okay, that's all.
So let me lead you. If you got this far, you did a good job. You're going to get the diamond. It's in the rough. You're finding it. You're going to unearth it. Less is more. Just less is more. Now Bernard and I can both take you down a sales understanding of why less is more. Too many options overwhelms the buyer.
Yes.
Less is more. Trying to take on too many things at one time will short circuit your process. Less is more. Don't go plan the 15 vacations that you want to do for the rest of your life. Just plan one. You're not going on any of them, was the metaphor I was using to head. Just go plan one. Less is more. Now here's the kicker. If less is more, I want to invite you to begin to a new mindset that more is better.
Mm.
But the only way to get to the more is by choosing less. Thank you. In my
I
philosophical, psychological banter, this is the arc path to take just the one next step.
it requires a pause. It requires a pause. What Casey said is exactly opposite what we know and believe. Okay. I think, well, I shouldn't say that. More is better. Um,
We like that one.
but I think we where we end up with more is better is we change more to most. And I want the most that I can get.
And we choose better to bigger.
Even better. Why get a 1 carat diamond when
Yeah.
you can get a 4 carat diamond?
What a choice.
What a choice. But
But if
again,
you've never bought a diamond, don't delay on buying your first diamond because you said, "Well, I want a 3 carat the first time I buy a diamond." You ain't. If you've never bought a precious stone, the 3 diamond uh, is not. You're not going to have any joy buying a 3 carat diamond.
no,
You're probably not even going to enjoy a 2 carat
correct.
because you're going to look at it and go, "Why is that so much more than a 1 carat?" Go get yourself a 1 carat and make it beautiful. Put it in the right setting, and then celebrate it. Uh,
But I want to bring it into before I lose the thought is we already believe and live out most is better, especially if we can get it bigger.
that's the default mode.
Well, but that's where we're all living,
Yes.
and it's not working.
No.
So let's start there, guys. This is right now. We try to go out to do as much as we can, get as much as we can, as big as we can, and when we do get it, it's very short lived. I'm not saying that it doesn't satisfy when you buy that boat. Of course it is. I worked hard. Here's my boat. Oh my gosh, I went out the first time on my boat. It was amazing. And then I have to do the maintenance on the boat. I have to haul the boat. I have to clean the boat. I have to buy the insurance on the boat. And then it's like, oh my gosh, maybe I don't want a boat. And, we all know the analogy, the happiest 2 days of a boat owner's life is the first day and the last day. And that paradigm, we live into that. And I think Casey's trying to upend the model. And let's do it again. Let's do it again. Let's repeat it. So let's do it slower this time.
We go back to the we're not going back to the beginning because we
No,
can't.
not the beginning.
That's the joy.
Let's go.
We're-
Less is more.
Less is more. And all you need to know is that there's a next step. So take it.
So if I begin by doing because I think you're out of line there. So if I do 15 minutes of working out 3 times a week, is that okay to start?
It's even better to start there than to set yourself out to say, I'm going to do 3 days for an hour, but never find the hour to do, so you don't do anything.
But I need to do that, but just we never get there.
But you never get there.
We never get there. So
Someday I'm going to make this work.
Correct. So starting, just what are some of the goals? I'm gonna read, 10 minutes a day. I'm gonna meditate 5 minutes a day in silence. And by the way, if you haven't done it,
Do it.
do it. That's it. Just do it. You have to do it. Nobody told you that you have to do it. We're gonna write the handbook of a human being, and that's gonna be like one of the top things. In order for you to pay attention to the outside world, you have to pay attention to the inside world, and that begins in silence.
I think that itself was already too long. Did you feel that? I mean, the editor is going to come back and go, I think I
Can we
should
cut that
cut out that 1.5 second
Great.
silent because we are so conditioned to not have silence.
I know.
I mean,
Scroll.
yeah, we're rambling. We're having a good time, and I hope you're having a good time with us today too, because mindset is so fascinating. And the last little piece I'll give you on mindset is you have a mindset. Okay, the shift is powerful,
Yes.
and it shifts 1% or 1 degree at a time, until you have a revelation that realigns it.
Mm.
But you have to be moving. An object at rest tends to stay at rest. So if you're not moving, you're not likely to see something um, uh, magnificent happen. But if you go just a little bit, and you go just a little bit, and you go just a little bit, and now you have four little bits in a row, something happens in that experience that there's a poof. Everybody's chasing the poof.
God, there's your diamond in the rough. There's your diamond in the rough. No, we do not like it. We don't believe it. We don't want what Casey just said. But I'm going to give it back to you because just in case you didn't hear it. Life changes incrementally. You reach for life changes incrementally, that 1%, that 1%, that 1%, and you go, but it's not satisfying. I want that rush. Can I drink 6 cups of coffee? Man, I'm wired. I can go faster. And and then we know where that ends up. But it's just the life changes incrementally. This 1%, 1%, this 5 minute here, 15 minute here changes in my life, and then all of a sudden, as I adopt enough of these micro changes, a 20%, 10% pops into my life and go, wait a minute, when did this happen? How?
Yeah.
I was just making these micro adjustments, and all of a sudden now my life just got 20% better instantly. How did that happen? We don't believe that that's the model, because what we're being sold in modern pop culture, that's not the model. It's figure out your gold and go reach for it, and you're going to grab this gold, and you're going to be a sensation overnight because you're amazing. Well, you are amazing, but you have to keep refining that mindset, that lifestyle, that communication, and then it pops in there. It's not something you just jump onto the scene, unless you've been doing it, and living that pattern.
So this goes down as probably our longest podcast, which
Oh
is
my
still not
gosh.
long. We've been told, "Okay, you guys don't wrap it up so quick. Go longer." Well, the goal here today is that you're going to forget all of this in an hour if you don't put it into action now. So take right now. You've been with us long enough already, but add another one little step and go, what is my next incremental move? And go after it. Choose it, declare it, celebrate it in our ARC community on Facebook. Text us, get a hold of us, find us on social media, and celebrate. My mindset shifted, and this is what I'm going to do about it. It is available for you today, and we're celebrating your next step. So thanks for joining us on the ARC Path. We hope to see you soon. There's lots of ways to connect with us. Tell us how to connect with you, and we will meet you there. God bless you.
Yes.